Thank you, sir. Sir, I rise to speak and to oppose this historic bill before the House, which is a consequence of the Supreme Court judgment in Shaira Bano versus Union of India, setting aside the practice of Talaqi Biddat, which is otherwise known as triple talaq. There is no doubt that it is a historic bill. There is no doubt that this bill definitely helps the hapless Muslim women who cannot even challenge Talaqi Biddat if you go by the Muslim personal law or Sharia. I will deal with them one by one and request the Honourable Minister to look into them seriously and make the necessary amendments so that divorced women after talaq can lead a turbulence-free life. Secondly, subscribing to the feeling of a section of people in the country who brand Muslim men as being misogynistic is not fair, sir. Ordinance issued by the government making triple talaq a punishable offence is only to gain political mileage, which it failed to get in any of the 5 states where assembly elections were held recently. I don't understand, when the bill is already pending before this very House for its consideration, why the government had to bring an ordinance. Instead, the government could have brought official amendments, which every government does if it gets a second thoughts on a bill, which has already been introduced. Thirdly, the government should focus more on protecting lives and rights of Muslim women and men getting lynched by BJP-sponsored organizations or mobs affiliated with the ruling party. Sir, everybody agrees that the issue of talaq is complex and a complicated one. If one has to understand the complexities, complications and intricacies of the triple talaq, one should first understand nikah, or the marriage according to Muslim law, sir. Nikah is essentially a contract between bridegroom and bride laid down in nikah nama, the marriage contract, under the Muslim family law. And this contract will have a condition for compulsory consideration called meher to be paid to the bride by the bridegroom. So the basic difference between Hindu marriage and Muslim marriage, the marriage is a divine sacrament for Hindus, whereas for Muslims it is a civil contract drawn between bride and bridegroom. And whatever happens in Islam has to happen as per the Sunnah, or the teachings, the deeds, the sayings of the Prophet. But nowhere in the Sunnah has it been mentioned about the existing practice of pronouncing instant triple talaq. This was introduced by the Umayyad kings, the first great Muslim dynasty, because they found text in the Prophet's formula of talaq inconvenient to them. So the demand of Muslim women for talaq-i sunnah, which is divorce as per the Prophet's saying and Quranic dictation, and opposing talaq-i biddat, which is an unacceptable reincarnation of divorce and propagates instant talaq, is genuine, sir. Whatever triple talaq currently being followed by a section of misogynistic men is not in consonance with the Quran. It is bizarre that we have talaq happening on WhatsApp, on Twitter, on SMS, on Skype, WeChat, over phone, postcard, by mail, or instant pronouncement in any other form, which is not as suggested by the Prophet, sir. So the demand of Muslim women that talaq should be talaq-i sunnah and not talaq-i biddat is certainly justified. I think the whole House agrees with that, sir. The Honourable Supreme Court in AIR 2002 SC 3551 and also Honourable High Court of AP in 2004 validated what I had just said now about talaq-i sunnah. Hence, I suggest that this is an acceptable form of talaq, sir. Sir, if you look at the world scenario, particularly even in Islamic countries, many countries have either banned triple talaq or regulated it, like our neighbor Pakistan, which passed the Muslim Family Laws Ordinance in 1961, or like in Morocco, which introduced the Moroccan Family Code in 2004. Similarly, there are countries such as Turkey, which banned it in 1926, Egypt in 1929, Tunisia in 1955, Bangladesh in 1971, Sri Lanka in 2006. And there are other countries such as Iraq, Iran, Indonesia, Algeria, Jordan, Saudi Arabia, Libya, and many more, which have banned or regulated this practice. So no country, however orthodox or fanatical they may be, allows instant talaq, sir. Sir, Clause 4 of the original bill says that whoever pronounces talaq-i biddat is punished with imprisonment for a term which may be extended to 3 years, and a fine under Clause 7 the government made is cognizable and non-bailable offence, of course subject to scrutiny by the magistrate. Sir, here the marriage is a civil contract, and as many speakers have said before me, the government is trying to make it a criminal offence. If one looks at the other communities such as Hindu, Christian, Sikh, it is not a civil offence. It is a civil offence and not criminal, sir. So why the government is making a criminal offence needs clarification. If a man beats his wife, let him be sent to jail, sir. But if a man divorces his wife, regardless of how he may do it, does he belong in jail, sir? Is it a sin to divorce your wife, sir? In this manner, yes. But do they belong in jail? That is the main question that everybody is asking, sir. Sir, both Clause 5 and 7 are contradicting with each other. On the one hand, government proposed subsistence allowed to divorce Muslim women, and on the other, it is making pronouncement of instant talaq in any form illegal, non-bailable, and sending such husband behind the bars for 3 years and fine under Clause 4. How can anyone justify this, sir? If husband is in jail, as everybody has been asking, it's a common sense question. I think it's a common sense question that is yet to be answered by the government. If a husband is in jail, how will he continue to support his wife, and how will he continue to pay subsistence to his wife? It's a very common sense question that is yet to be answered, sir. The bill addressing post-divorce issues such as subsistence allowance has not thought about where the allowance will come from. If it is not, is it not defeating the very objective on which the entire bill is hanging? Of course, now the government has watered down some of these provisions, but there is a need to keep punishment at an acceptable level, because this will achieve twin objectives of paying the way for subsistence to wife and also helping the husband to engage in his work so that he can give the subsistence allowance to his wife. Sir, the bill excludes Jammu and Kashmir from its purview. Why is this, sir? Is J&K not a part of India, sir? It is everybody's knowledge that J&K has a separate constitution. But it is not a question of constitution. It is a question of dignity, solemnity, and self-respect of J&K women, sir. In fact, J&K state is one where majority of population is Muslim. It means that it should be even more relevant to implement in J&K than in any other state of India. So I demand that this should be extended to J&K also, sir. Sir, with these observations, I once again like to say that I oppose this bill in its current form due to the points raised by me. I request you to please refer this bill to the Joint Select Committee in order to ensure that there is no criminalization of a civil matter and the practice of instant triple talaq can be brought to an end, which helps in ameliorating the condition of Muslim women in this country. With those words, thank you, sir.